Hey y'all, it's Cole, and today I'm going to be doing a new video. I have, in my years of reading books, come across some of the worst lines I've ever read, and I thought it'd be funny to put them all into my notes and make a video about it. So of course, need to do a disclaimer because I know booktube is the world of don't be mean to authors. I'm not being mean to authors. I'm just having fun. No hate to any of these people. I don't think there's the worst people in the world. Okay? It's just for fun. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so just to let you guys know, I live right next to the stadium, so there's a football game going on, so you may hear the announcer. I'll do my best for you guys not to hear it, but you may hear it. I feel like my hair always looks so short in videos. It's not even short. And I don't know why I wore red lipstick. No, I don't look good in red lipstick. Okay, so the first one I have is from a book called Anatomy of a Boyfriend, and it's by Nadia Snadowski, I think it's who it's by. This was actually put in my worst books I've ever read, or worst books of all time video. And this, I'm going to read you guys the lines and then I'll have a commentary about it. Okay? Okay, so I actually have a couple lines from this book because this book is so funny to me. Okay, so the first line goes, I can tell Wes is starting to get tired, so I decide to fake it. I feel bad, but supposedly women do it all the time. And I want Wes to feel like he's doing well. Also, I don't want him to think I'm some asexual freak. Because, oh yes, you know, those asexuals are they're just the pariahs of the world. You know, just hand me a torch and a cross, because there will be no dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight for these asexuals out here, okay? We're just not here for it. Also, ladies, don't do that, okay? I get it, it was their first time, but if it don't feel good, tell him it don't feel good. Y'all ain't married. It ain't time for you to be faking nothing, girl. And heads up, learn yourself before you learn somebody else, because when you know how down there work, it ain't gonna be no problem. It ain't gonna be no problem.
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
You better listen to your good sis.
Aha! Come on, tell him.
But this is their first time or whatever, so whatever. Okay, and so the next part of this, I'm skipping down. This is the same page, but I think it skipped down a little bit. She says, this time I skipped the condom. Even though I yelled at Amy God knows how many times back in high school for routinely having unprotected oral sex with her random hookups. But Wes isn't random, and right now all I care about is how good I can make him feel. How close we are right now. I'm able to swallow most of his semen as it shoots into my mouth, and I'm surprised at the lack of taste given how much stuff is in it. Glucose, fructose, vitamin C, vitamin B12, sulfur, zinc, potassium, magnesium, calcium, copper. It's all like a perverted multivitamin. Who in the middle of sex starts naming things that are in semen? What are you doing? And I guess it's because she's supposed to be a medical student. Not yet, because she's in high school, but she wants to be a medical student. But who sits there and has sex with somebody and goes, oh, think of all the vitamins that's in semen. Like, what? What are you talking about? Like, honestly, if I was having sex with someone and their mind was that far into a multivitamin, I'm like, oh, I ain't doing something right. Something don't feel good. Like, you ain't having fun. Okay, so the next part goes, she's still giving him a hand job at this point. I reach for my purse and drop the mood ring. You know what feels good? When you touch the tip. Oh, okay. I take him back in my hands. And, don't forget these, he says, while pointing to his balls. I have to hold back laughter. I thought guys were supposed to be easy to get off. Could you imagine having sex with a guy and you're giving him hand job and all of a sudden he goes, oh, and don't forget about these. Dude, it's connected to your penis. Like, obviously it's attached. What else? I don't understand. You know what? Maybe because it's their first time. I don't know. But honestly, if I was having sex with a guy and all this was being said, I'd cringe so fucking hard. This is, oh my God. Y'all, I'm appalled. Okay, so I think that was the last one for that book. The next book, it's funny because a couple of these books I actually like, but the next book is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, which is actually one of my favorite books Yeah, one of my favorite books. But I will say that whenever we got to the point where Miles would talk about his past, or we'd get the view from his past, it was so cringy. And this is one of the cringiest lines I can think of from Ugly Love. Okay. This is literally how it's written. Now, if you've never read Ugly Love, when you read his, Miles, the main character's past, it's in, like, it's like in poem like style, like centered, and some things are italicized. So think of that when I read this to you. We went home, not to our home. When I'm pausing, these are periods. We went home, not to our home. Rachel wanted Lisa. Rachel needs her mother. I kind of need my father. Every night I hold her. Every night I tell her I'm sorry. Every night we just cry. I don't understand how it can be so perfect. How life and love and people can be so perfect and beautiful. Then it's not. It's so ugly. Life and love and people become ugly. It all becomes water. Tonight is different. This night is the first night in 3 weeks when she's not crying. I hold her anyway. I want to be happy that she's not crying, but it scares me. Her tears mean she feels nothing. Even if that something is devastation. Oh, I'm illiterate. Her tears mean she feels something. Even if that something is devastation, it's still something. There aren't any tears tonight. I hold her anyway. I tell her I'm sorry again. She never tells me it's okay. She never tells me it's not my fault. She never tells me she forgives me. She does kiss me tonight though. She kisses me and takes off her shirt. She tells me to make love to her. I tell her we shouldn't. I tell her we're supposed to wait 2 more weeks. She kisses me so I'll stop talking. I kiss her back. Rachel loves me again, I think. She's kissing me like she loves me. I'm gentle with her. I go slow. She's touching my skin. She loves me. I don't want to hurt her. She cries. Please don't cry, Rachel. I stop. She tells me she tells me not to stop. She tells me to finish. Finish. I don't like that word. Like this is a job. I kiss her again. I finish. Okay, when I tell you, I wish I had the Ugly Love book so you can actually physically see how this is written. It is so, and I'm not joking, it's like every other chapter is Miles from 6 years prior to present day where the story takes place, and that is how it is. I was like, I know it's supposed to be like poetic-y sounding, but it sounds so cringe and so bad. Like, who talks or thinks that way? Like, honestly, sometimes I hate when females write guy characters because they're either very, very aggressive or very, very ooh booey, like, you know, like, ooh, did you do the baby, like that. And Miles is like that. He's just like, I finished. It's really not funny because of their situation in the book, but it's so fucking funny. Okay, so the next book is a book I've talked about a couple of times on my channel. It is The One That I Want by I don't know what her name is. Okay, but this still irritates me to death, and this is still one of the worst lines in the world, so we're gonna read it. You brought it up, Max, I reminded him. You talked about being Japanese on your team. You didn't have to say that in front of her. You baited her in the first place. You confused her by taking her to a Chinese movie with Japanese bad guys. If you're sensitive about a topic, don't bring it up. Yeah, because you know what? If you're being oppressed on your football team or anywhere in life, just know when you're around white people, don't bring it up, because why would you? Like, come on, guys. Like, I'm a black girl. You don't see me bringing the race card everywhere. Just saying. Okay, so this next book is Breathe by Abby Lines, and I hate this book so much I never got to finish it because it was so bad, and it was basically a Harry Styles fanfiction. So, and this line goes, or lines, my heart thudded in my chest from his touch. Drawing breath into my lungs became difficult. Well, you really need to be pickier who you spend time with, I managed to say without sounding breathless. He threw back his head and laughed, and I couldn't help but smile. You're right, Sadie. I do. And I think I have found someone who I want to spend time with who happens to cry for little girls she doesn't know who have lost their fathers in war. I didn't want to think about the sweet little girl being fatherless. If I teared up again, I would seem ridiculous. You'll get tired of me quickly. I'm boring. I admitted out loud before I realized it. He slipped a finger under my chin and tilted my face up. Nothing about you is boring. Just watching you think is entertaining. I frowned, and he kissed my head, much like he did little girls, and laughed softly. Don't frown, beautiful. You fascinate me. My face grew hot, and my heart pounded so hard in my chest I feared it might burst its way out. It wasn't fair that he could affect me with so little effort. The vehicle stopped, and I realized we were sitting outside my apartment. I frowned at him. I never told you how to get here. He grinned and went to open my door. You work for me, Sadie. I made it my business to get your address from your file and give it to Kane before we left. I hadn't thought about that, I muttered. No, of course you haven't. Of course you haven't thought of it because it's weird and creepy and stalkerish, Sadie. And oh yeah, what about that line? You'll get tired of me quickly. I'm boring. That is so look at me girl. Like, oh my god, I'm so different. I don't wear makeup. I like to listen to music from the 60s. I was born in the wrong generation. Guys, look at me, look at me. Okay, so the next line goes, and I thanks again for the ride and the company. He bowed teasingly. Anytime. I looked at him one more time and went inside. I closed the door and leaned up against it. Jack Stone had just rocked my world. And I wasn't sure what to do about it. Okay, you're interrupting me.
Oh, are you doing a YouTube?
No, I'm getting my ass eaten. Babe. Peace out, Girl Scout. You know, you're dealing with like a rock star when his name is Jack Stone. And she mentions the words rocked my world. Y'all, you cannot make this up. Like, oh, you rocked my world. Who says those things anymore? What are you talking about? Okay, this is from the same book, and this line goes, the song came to a close, and he grinned at me. Well, what do you think? I smiled back. Perfect. He laughed and shook his head. Most girls want love sonnets, and you want a song about a cowboy wanted dead or alive. He hung the guitar back up on the wall. A knock sounded on the door, and Jason Stone entered. He noticed me and stopped. Sorry, I didn't realize you were with company. I just walked by and heard you playing that old song and thought I would stop in and see what the reminiscing was all about. Jax turned and grinned at his brother. It's okay, you can come in. Jason stepped into the room and closed the door behind him. I brought Sadie in here to play one of her favorite number ones I've done. And come to find out, she didn't have one. She doesn't even like me at all. I laughed at his expression, and Jason's shocked look instantly went to a smile when he realized his brother meant to tease me. Not true. I happen to really like the song you sang about fighting to find yourself. Jack reached for another guitar and froze. He turned back to me. I didn't know what I said wrong, but he gazed straight into my eyes very seriously for what seemed an eternity. Slowly, a smile formed on his perfect lips right before he asked, really? I nodded, not sure why this surprised him. Let's go back to this line, okay? Let's go back to it. Most girls want love sonnets, and you want a song about cowboy wanted dead or alive. That is so different. Like, you know what? I don't even have an album full of 80s music. Y'all, you think I got a whole album filled with 80s classics? Come on now. But this ain't that. This ain't a whole album of 80s classics. John Bon Jovi is a musical genius. What the hell is it different that some girl likes Wanted Dead or Alive? I mean, by this one novel, I should be like getting dudes out the ass. Like, come on, where's my rock star? You're not cool. That's so bad. Oh my god. Okay, let me stop because I'm sure people like this book. Okay, I didn't, but whatever. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, you can go check out some of my other videos. I try to post once a week. I'll see you on the next one. Do what you love, create what you love, and peace.